Hey guys, I just got back from taking my first real ride on this bike since I got it. Um, I did go and pick it up yesterday, and I tried to look at everything that you guys told me to do. You can see in here the steering stops on both sides look to be in good shape. There's that side. So they look to be in pretty good shape. They're not bent or anything like that I can tell. The wheel looks straight when you sit on it. It might be off to the side just a little bit, but it's nothing major. The chain looks straight in line with the front sprocket. The rear wheel was straight. And I took it for a quick ride yesterday just to ride it up to my truck to load it in the back. And when I rode it, it didn't seem to do it as bad. So I get out today on the road and I'm riding. And I heard, take your hands off the handlebars and see what it does, see if it pulls to the side to look for a bent frame. Well, luckily I didn't take them all the way off. I just kind of hovered above both bars. And for a little bit it rode fine. And then it started shaking back and forth, left and right. So I was able to grab the bars and maintain control without dumping it. So that kind of had me a little worried. But when you go around corners, like if I'm going around a right-hand corner and I'm leaning to the right, you feel the wheel want to turn into the turn as you're like it wants to turn to the right. Or if you're going around a left-hand turn leaning, it wants to turn to the left. Now I never felt that on my Katana before. When you're going around a corner, you just lean the bike, the handlebar stays straight. But this, it feels like it wants to turn. And the forks don't look like they're bent or anything like that. I mean, everything looks okay. It's obvious it was laid over at one time. The frame slider's scuffed up a little bit, and that plate is cracked, and there's some kind of like epoxy on there, I guess, to keep it from leaking, which it doesn't seem to leak at all. But otherwise, the frame looks good to me, unless I'm missing something. Now, the tires are what I'm hoping is causing this. Here's the back tire. I don't know if you can really see it. I'm filming this with my iPhone, so. But when you look at the tire, you can see how the center is actually kind of raised up higher than the sides. Like the center of the tire has a high spot, I guess. And when you feel it, when I'm rubbing my hand over it, I can feel this part feels like it's raised more than this, actually. So I don't know what's the deal with these tires. It's just kind of right here. Feels like it's raised up a little bit more. Well, actually, it kind of, the whole way across it kind of feels that way. And then the front tire seems to be even worse. I don't know, once again, if you can tell very much, but this center is raised up a lot higher. And there's actually, I didn't see that before, but there where the hell is it? There the cord looks like it's starting to show in the tire. So, and there is some dry rot on them. Try a different view, maybe you can see how the center of the tire is raised up a bit around the sides. Do you think that would cause the issues I'm encountering? I mean, when you're riding at speed and you're going straight, it's okay. There's like a slight noise from the front end. I don't know if it is a windy day. I don't know if it's just the wind. Plus, I took this lens cover off to replace the bulb, so I was riding without that. Maybe it was the wind hitting that. I don't know. But there was a slight noise from the front end. And it does kind of feel, I mean, even when you're running straight, you can kind of feel it wanting to get a little wobbly, sort of. But like I said, when I first took my hands off the handlebars, it was fine. And then, like, half a second later, then the wheel started shaking. And it wasn't like a violent shake. It just started out kind of slow. It probably would have got worse if I would have let it go. But luckily, I grabbed back on. And when you're going really slow and you're making a sharp turn, and which requires you to turn the handlebars instead of leaning because you're going so slow, it really wants to turn on its own. Like the wheel, if you're making a right-hand turn, it feels like the wheel just wants to go full lock right, and you kind of got to force it to not go full lock right. So I tried moving the handlebars back and forth, and I didn't see anything wrong with that. So, I mean, just unless I'm missing something, I don't see any bent frame or anything like that. It's just these tires. The handlebars might not be perfectly aligned with it. I haven't played with these adjusters or anything like that on it. I know he wanted to stiffen the front end up. He just didn't like how loose it was, but to me, it feels fine. It's pretty stiff to me. I think it could actually loosen up a little bit, but I don't know. But yeah, that's the issues I'm still having. So hopefully you guys can tell me. Hopefully that it's just tires causing this. I hope I didn't buy a bike that's totally screwed up or something. I mean, I tried to check it out the best I can and make sure everything looked okay, like you said, and everything seemed to check out. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's causing this shake and vibration and stuff from the front. Hopefully it's just the tires, but I won't have the extra cash to get tires on for a little bit, so it's just going to sit. Now that I see that the cords are starting to show, I'm not going to take this out anymore. But other than that, it runs great. I mean, it's fast as hell. I'm coming off a Katana 600, so you can imagine the big difference for me. I mean, I wasn't even getting on it all the way, and it was going pretty good. So it runs good, idles good, everything like that. I think you guys might remember I said about how the lens cover was painted black. I got that off, and got a new bulb for it. So I'm going to put the bulb in, and hopefully that light works. And I got the turn signal working. The rear turn signal didn't work because the wires were loose. Where somebody spliced these new turn signals in, they just kind of did like a hack job on it, and one of the wires came loose for this side. So I just soldered them together so they were good and wrapped them up. They didn't even have them covered in tape, so I did that, and now it works. I think the switch does need clean though, but the guy that had it, he said he hasn't rode it for like a year, so it's been sitting for at least a year. And I think just moving the turn signal and breaking it in, kind of getting it moving again, is helping it, because ever since I've been messing with it, it's been working. So that issue seems to be taken care of. So everything's good, except I want to get another cover under here. You can see there it's cracked, and somebody like put something on it. And from what I saw in the owner's manual, unless I'm not seeing it right, this is just like a cover. Like, I could take that cover off and there wouldn't be any fluid coming out or leaking out. Unless I'm wrong, that's how it looked to me. So they probably thought that this holds the oil in, and they put some kind of stuff there to try to seal it up maybe. But I don't think it leaks or anything like that. So, I mean, there's nothing wet. I just rode it for about a half hour. There's nothing wet there. Oil level's good. But yeah, other than that, just got to figure out what's going on with this handling issue. And I'm half afraid to ride it, because it's just, I mean, eventually you're going to lay it down. If it keeps riding like this, if I can't fix it, it's going to wreck, because, you know, you take your handlebars off, or take your hands off the handlebars, and it starts, you know, you turn into a tank slapper or whatever. It won't be good. So, but let me know, guys. I mean, here's a view from the front if it helps. Let me sit on it once. Maybe you guys will spot something that I'm not. And here the handlebars are pretty much straight. Can go. That looks pretty straight there, I think. Both handlebars look pretty good. And you look down at the wheel, and the wheel might be a little bit to the left. Like, that would probably be straight on the wheel. And there's the handlebars. So it's really not off by anything. And the forks look straight from what I could see. So I don't see no bends in this frame or anything like that. It looks good all the way around. So I'm hoping it's just the tires. And if you can really see these tires on the video, especially the front one, It's just like, I don't know how they got worn like that. I know some tires have like a double compound or whatever in the center, so the center doesn't wear out faster than the sides. I don't know if that's the case with these. These are Michelin Radial Pilot Power. That's what's on the back anyway. See if the front matches. No, front's a Dunlop Sport Max. So the tires don't match for one. So I don't know if that would not help it any at all or not. The back tire's not as bad. I mean, it's still raised up in the center, but it's not as much as the front. The front, you know, like you can see the tread on it, or the cord showing here. There's pretty much no tread in the center, and the center is like raised up. Like I can feel that when I run my finger across. So when you're run on that raised section, pretty much. So I don't know if that would cause the handling issues or not. I'm just gonna get tires, I guess. I mean, unless you guys say, you know, or you saw that the frame was bent or something that I missed, like major. And if you guys see something like that, then let me know. I'm not gonna bother spend any money on tires on it because it won't be worth it. I mean, I'm not going to ride a bike that has a bent frame or something majorly wrong. I mean, if it's just tires, then that's not a huge deal. There, it looks like the fork seal's leaking a little bit too. They did actually give me new fork seals. They got new fork seals and a stiffer weight oil. He was going to put in, that one looks okay. He was going to put in though to stiffen the front end up. So I'll just quickly show you an alignment video of the back tire again. So let's see. There's that side. There's that side. Chain goes straight all the way. There's the wheel. And it doesn't really feel, I mean, I know the back tire can affect the front, the front and the handling. It doesn't really feel like it's coming from the back. It just feels like it's coming from the front wheel and that it wants to steer on its own, kind of. Like when you're really going slow around a corner, it really wants to just go and just turn all the way. You gotta fight to keep it from doing that. So, I rambled on long enough. Hopefully you guys can tell me that tires will fix it. I hope I didn't just spend all that money on a bike that something's not right with. I mean, I probably maybe should have getting it, but because it was in such good shape, and it was a pretty good deal, and it's what I was looking for. They don't come up very often, and I saw one that, you know, they wanted more for it, and like the front windshield was gone, and they turned it into like a Street Fighter, and it had the dual headlights and stuff, and I just didn't like it. So I wanted the stock look pretty much. But anyway, I'm rambling on now. So hopefully you guys can let me know what you think is causing this handling issue, and let me know whether you think tires will fix it. Pretty much, if you think tires will fix the issue, then I'll go ahead and get tires for it. I think I'm going to get the Bridgestone B16s, put them on, and see if that works. This does have the 16-inch front wheel still. It doesn't. Nobody put a 17 on. Or maybe it's just a wheel that's out of balance or something like that. It could be that too, I guess. But let me know, guys, if you think the tires are mainly causing this. Thanks.